Breaking. As the tension between Eazy the Block and Remy Ma grows, you should pay attention to this because things are about to go ugly. There are rumors that the most recent outburst was caused by a recent incident that had a significant impact on both of them. To show how far from being fixed this issue is, Eazy the Block has been sharing their thoughts with anyone who would listen. As if that weren't enough, keep an eye out since this drama is just getting started and seems to only become more dramatic from here on out. Heated up when he questioned her loyalty while driving. He is really unhappy because Remy angered him by introducing him to Capo's new girlfriend. However, it appears that the tension has been increasing for weeks and is now approaching a breaking point, so is not an isolated incident. If you missed the last drama, here's what happened. Remy's activities have been causing tension to rise, and it appears that a blow-up is about to happen. Rumors regarding Remy are still circulating, so keep checking back. People began to believe that Remy was using this new person as a rebound after it was revealed in late 2023 that she had cheated on Papoose with an underground rapper known for his easygoing attitude. Seemed for months that Remy was still totally smitten with Papoose and his new lover. But things took a drastic turn when Papoose publicly announced his separation from his daughter and posted a heartwarming Father's Day photos of the two of them together. Furthermore, Remy started to appear with her new partner right away. When Remy and Eazy were seen together, everyone assumed they were in a committed relationship. But when Remy abruptly ended their relationship, it was clear that something was off. Things really started to go wrong after a fight with rapper G Gotti. From the sidelines, Remy attempted to comfort them, but Gotti was direct and exposed the real causes of their breakup, belittling their tumultuous relationship. Will Remy and Eazy's brief relationship come to an end, or will it continue? This drama is far from over, so stay tuned to see what mayhem lies ahead. When Gotti accused Rahea of cheating on Papu, the man who had been true to her for years and helped her during her incarceration. Can you believe that she didn't back down? Even more startling is the fact that Papoose appeared to accept these accusations of infidelity and acknowledge that Remy wasn't as faithful as everyone believed, rather than rejecting them. Increased his efforts after dropping the bombshell, saying the following after the rumors began, as news of Ren's infidelity began to circulate. We all anticipated Ree to take a stand and refute the charges. But this is where things went wrong since she remained silent rather than confronting the issue directly. As it happens, Remy wasn't even teasing Eazy the Block throughout the media attention. Someone else was involved and didn't want to be seen. With Ren in public, silence is not a sign of weakness. Unfortunately, Captain identification was made public rather fast. She was in a polyamorous relationship after receiving backlash for her difficult relationship, according to claims from multiple media outlets. When you learn that another underground artist was seen holding hands and sporting matching clocks, the narrative becomes even more convoluted. When Remy initially attempted to distance himself from this relationship, guess what happened? Was confirmed by multiple media sites. Nothing was more surprising than a few weeks ago, somewhere else, and it's Claressa Shields this time. Even as he was lying at my house on the phone with Claressa Shields, boxing champion Remy shared a screenshot of Papo with his new girlfriend with a scathing caption. Because of the tense relationship that arose between him and Claressa Shields. Following her shocking disclosure, Remy has decided not to pursue it. The two women didn't hold back in a series of intense arguments. Claressa even made threats against Remy each time they passed this girl, who is supposedly a world boxer. As soon as she heard my voice, she hung up. Now that I've told you everything, you're not by yourself. Since Remy's continual negative vibes suggest that she is still not over Papu. Many of his admirers were taken aback when he chastised her for seeking a new romance. This scenario is made further strange by the fact that she cheated on him first, and that she finds it unbearable to see him happy with someone else. She clearly doesn't want to witness his joyful weeks and is incensed that he has continued to see someone else. Remy made an appearance at a public event a few minutes into the play, and the audience's response was incredible. Everyone was shocked by what transpired as they started cheering the block captain during his rap battle. Fans swiftly criticized Remy for what they believed to be her promoting violence after the video went viral within hours of its publication. The shout was, "Hey Remy, don't you love me?" See right there? That's the applause. The front. The block captain was discussing Messi even when she was still with Eazy. But now sources are acknowledging that things weren't as they seemed. Even though Remy wasn't prepared for the repercussions, she decided to answer yes at once to avoid heightening the tension because the question was unexpected. He failed to warn her of the upcoming bombshell, and now that the truth is out, she is in a difficult situation. As a result, her connection with her roommate worsened. A source claims that Ree has been on a warpath ever since she feels taken advantage of because Remy isn't treating him with the respect he deserves. And Papoose was penalized for dating someone new. But since moving on to Remy while she was comfortable with Papoose amounted to treason, and treachery always has repercussions. This is where karma might be at play. Fans are talking about the entire situation, and many are horrified that Remy would have hurt Papo despite the fact that others could claim that this is his karma coming full circle. Remy is the ideal illustration of why some people argue that you shouldn't date a lady from New York, especially for someone like 50 Cent, who battled his way to prominence with unyielding determination. People blame her for everything he did, for her claiming that after all the years of support and dedication, she ought to have treated him better. Remy has passed away more horribly than anyone else that comes to mind, and she will continue to fall out during this perimenopause and midlife crisis. She would realize later that this was the worst decision she had ever made. There is more to 50 Cent's story than meets the eye. He became a parent in 1996 when he wed Sheena Tompkins, who was his then girlfriend. Curtis Jackson is his true name. Even though he is best known as a rapper, few people are aware of the drama and misery that lie behind his personal life. Did you genuinely admire Eazy the Block Captain? Or was he just a front to get over Papoose? Please use the space provided below to express your remarks. While juggling complicated relationships from his past, he has given his Zaire son Sire all of his love and attention. By the time they reached the legal end of things in 2008, the conflict between 50 and his oldest son, May Jackson, had already started. As kids grew older, their admiration for their father changed to disappointment. When the Mayers were young, they adored their father, and his child developed as their tumultuous relationship soured. The final STW occurred in 2008, when Mars was spotted in a photo with Kenneth Supreme's child, Griffa. Betrayal wounded 50 Cent, who responded harshly on social media, saying that he would have failed if a bus had hit the mayor and MC Griff's son. Their communication became a remote, lawyer-mediated process as a result of their disagreements with Tompkins and intricate legal matters. Members of the mayor's family harshly expressed how strained their relationship had become, saying that the mayor's he claimed that even though he had given Mace far more money than he had ever had as a child, he thought his son was not showing him any respect. In 2022, Mars paid $6,700 for a single day, the same amount 50 had paid in monthly child support, in an open attempt to get his father to pay attention. Frequently stirred the pot by purposely doing things to agitate his father. He would associate with people who didn't like or post things online to irritate him. Mars later claimed that because his father had not blocked his phone number on social media, he had attempted to get in touch with him privately, but had been unable. In contrast to 50 Cent, who turned down the opportunity, claiming it wasn't about money and that he only wanted to spend time with his father. Mraz is motivated to make a name for himself and enters the music business, dropping tracks and attempting to forge a career apart from his father's shadow. Even for the most successful, deeply rooted family issues can mask layers of suffering, joy, and conflict. The experiences that 50 Cent has had as a father and a son are not unique. His experiences negotiating the highs and lows of his family's story in his 50s, one of love, betrayal, and the difficulties that make maintaining family bonds so difficult have an effect on his relationship with his oldest son, Maris. In September 2012, Deathjoy gave birth to his second son. His second son was tumultuous, but initially they appeared to be a lot closer. In March 2024, Dee accused 50 of infidelity on social media, claiming that she no longer trusted him as a father and that her heart was wounded. The public accusations worsened their already strained relationship, even though 50 Cent denied the charges. Daff was allegedly working as an adult throughout this time, which she did, and 50 was moving to have sole custody of Sire. The incident went beyond courtrooms and attracted media attention. As their argument heated up, Daffin was accused of kicking her and damaging her belongings. However, he avoided harsher punishments by entering a guilty plea to minor mischief in the occurrence. Was not the first time that 50F's argument made headlines in 2013. They were accused of domestic abuse. However, he never falters in his dedication to his heritage, especially with regard to Sir. He stated unequivocally in a recent interview that all of his wealth will pass to his youngest son and that all he has produced will be Sir's to bear, resulting in 3 years of probation and community service. Anyone who understands 50's past is aware that McGriff is associated with a difficult period in the rapper's life and is more than simply a nickname. He was allegedly involved in the shooting at Pride 2000, which almost killed 50 people. His devotion to his father continues to amaze fans, but many are curious about what became of Mars, his firstborn child. The fact that his son was seen with the child of someone who was so directly responsible for the disaster. It's one of the most contentious incidents in the continuing story of the conflict between 50 and Mars. In 2018, Mars posted a picture of his son with Kenneth Supreme along with a background of 50 Cent's laser-like focus on building his son's future. In what the author thought was a homicide, his mother was drugged, forced unconscious, and had her apartment burned down. The events surrounding 50 Cent's murder had a lasting effect on her life. She was renowned for her bravery and perseverance, achieving progress in a hostile environment for women like herself, even though she lived in a hazardous area of Queens, South Jamaica. Although his family has always been the center of 50 Cent's life, there have been many heartaches and struggles along the way. In interviews, 50 Cent has discussed the anguish he never fully recovered from following the death of his mother, Sabrina Jackson, when he was just 8 years old. This incident sparked Curtis's ambition, passion, and relentless drive for achievement. But it also left scars that shaped him into the multifaceted man he is today, a father trying to strike a balance between his legacy and the anguish of unsolved. Sabrina was more than just his mother, as evidenced by the facts of her horrifying kidnapping. She was a strong lady who equipped her son for the challenging world he would have to navigate. He remembers her being caring yet stern, always pushing him to get up and move. Her words of wisdom, "Get up. What are you crying for?" struck a chord with him and influenced how he overcame challenges in both his early years and his work as a well-known star. He acknowledges, even as an adult, that she stole the one person who was extremely important to him, and that whenever life 50 Cent has never shied away from talking about those years. His music and interviews depict an era marked by arrests, fights, and rash decisions. But his grandmother remained his rock and the one constant in an otherwise chaotic life. He was sent to live with his grandmother in South Jamaica, Queens, when he was 12 years old. Even though he didn't want to, he felt compelled to take this path. By that time, he was working, distributing narcotics, and learning how to make ends meet on the streets. Describes how living with his grandmother was difficult at times because of his rugged appearance on the streets and the fact that he had to obtain permission to walk home from school. The disagreement stemmed from his Aunt Sylvia, who had been supplanted in the family by Curtis. Despite this, he had a close relationship with his grandmother and often believed that she could see his mother's face. She loved him more because of this wordless tie, which weighed on him every day. Her eyes glowed as he spoke to her, despite her weakness, and he noticed that her pulse rate had dropped after their brief exchange. He suffered from the tragedy of losing friends and loved ones to violence, drugs, and accidents. 50 had never experienced such suffering. When he was called, the entire family gathered in the hospital, and his aunt turned to him and said, "I'm waiting for you." 50 Cent paid tribute to his grandfather's sacrifices with a heart-shaped Instagram picture. Their relationship hasn't always been straightforward. For instance, he has had a difficult relationship with Daffy, the mother of his youngest son's side, which has been marked by court troubles and public accusations. In May 2023, model and actress Daffy accused 50 Cent of mistreating him in a widely shared but since deleted tweet. In response, 50 Cent filed a defamation lawsuit, claiming that despite the upheaval, he still prioritizes his family. After all the drama, 50 Cent agreed to drop the case in September 2023. But he left it open to be resurrected if necessary in the interim. It appears that his only goal was to get out of the current legal situation. However, the DA's allegations that 50 Cent felt mistreated further strained their already poor connection, as he has repeatedly expressed his desire to be present during his parents' turbulent relationship. What do you think? Please use the comment box below to share your thoughts. 50 Cent has been involved in a protracted dispute with Shanuka Tompkins, the mother of his oldest son, Marquise, for more than 20 years. Things have gotten more complicated since they began dating in the late 1990s. It's unclear if it's only an effort to defuse the situation or if it's a part of a bigger plan. All of the hostility between him and Joy has made the issue worse. 50 Cent claims that in addition to damaging his reputation, her charges were intended to prevent him from achieving anything significant. What are your thoughts on the matter? Do you believe 50's accusations are accurate, or do you believe Shaniqua is being unfairly singled out? Please share your thoughts on the back and forth in the comments section below. The continued cycle of public insults, legal actions, and back and forth on social media was further intensified in January 2019 when 50 accused Shaniqua of using money from his first large international tours for cosmetic surgery instead of real estate. As you could think, Shaniqua didn't remain silent and the drama continued. Tensions escalated when 50 Cent disclosed that he had been providing Shaniqua with $40,000 per month, or nearly $500,000 yearly to raise their sons. But Shaniqua was dissatisfied with that sum and desired more. 50 Cent responded by bringing the case to court, and the sum was ultimately lowered to $34,000, particularly when it came to their dispute over custody of their sons. 50 Cent and Shanuka Tompkins' arguments seemed to stretch on forever. Their ongoing conflict, which costs $6,700 per month, demonstrates the depth and complexity of 50 Cent and Shanuka's relationship over the years. Their animosity seems to be far from over, despite the money, the emotional toll on their son, and all the back and forth from the public. What do you think? Can this dispute continue to unfold in the public eye, or is there any chance that these two can ever resolve their differences? Feel free to share your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. The drama didn't end there, though. Shaniqua has the audacity to collaborate with Eazy only makes matters more challenging. What are your thoughts on her being on a reality TV show? Does that make things worse, or do you think it's just another chapter in their never-ending drama? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below.